Have you ever felt resentful that you're doing so much and then immediately thought, what's wrong with me? Because technically, nobody forced you to do all of that. Nobody may have even asked you to. And yet, here you are, irritated, drained, angry, and then feeling guilty for even feeling that way. That is what I want to talk about today. Not just resentment, but the kind that's especially confusing. Because technically, nobody really hurt you. You're just the one who keeps taking care of everyone. You might be stepping in, handling everything, anticipating everyone's needs, and doing more than anyone realizes. And then one day, you notice how angry you are, and you don't even realize how the anger snuck up on you. Here is what's often going on. Anger and resentment tend to grow when you feel depleted, when you're giving more than you're able to receive. Maybe you don't say no when you should. Or maybe you just look around and see that you're doing more than your fair share. At work, at home, with friends, in your community. And over time, that gap between what you're putting in and what you're getting back starts feeling unbearable. So you find yourself in this double bind. You're angry because you're depleted and it feels like nobody is around to help. And yet you also know that you never shared how you feel. You never asked for help. You basically have this unexpressed expectation that if you do things for others, they will reciprocate, or at the very least, appreciate you for it. And when they don't, you feel angry and resentful, and yet you don't feel entitled to those feelings. I get it. It's a tricky place to be in, and you're not alone in this. A lot of women who carry this chronic low-grade resentment are overfunctioning in a similar way. They're managing other people's emotions, anticipating problems, handling things that nobody ever assigned to them. What's worse is these women often take responsibility for something that they can't control, like other people's emotions or reactions, or the outcome of a group project. And the reason women like us do all this overfunctioning is not because we like to suffer or we want attention. It is usually much deeper than that. At some point, we learned that being useful was a way to buy love and belonging. We're secretly terrified that if we stopped being responsible for everything, something bad would happen. Someone would be disappointed. Things would fall apart. And ultimately, people would stop loving us. So we keep going. Not always because we choose to be so helpful, but because being so overly helpful and over-functioning stopped being like a choice. It just feels like something that's impossible to stop. So here's the good news. Ultimately, resentment is a helpful signal that trying to buy love and appreciation through over-functioning isn't a sustainable strategy. Resentment doesn't also necessarily mean that other people don't care about you or never offer to help. It merely means that you may have insisted on overfunctioning, undermining other people's help, or rejecting it altogether. And in combination, all of these experiences led you to feel this way, resentful and depleted. And this is a great place to start, because awareness will help you shift things faster. You can start seeing where you're giving too much or taking care of what's not yours. You stop waiting for other people to notice how much you're doing. You stop silently keeping score. And you start asking a much more useful question. What am I taking responsibility for right now that wasn't mine to begin with? This is not about what someone else should be doing or what's wrong with him for not noticing how overwhelmed I am. The only relevant question is, what is actually mine? And what did I pick up because I was afraid of what would happen if I didn't? That question doesn't fix everything overnight, but it is where things begin to change. Resentment is not a character flaw. It is useful information. The question is, are you willing to listen to what it's trying to show you?